Hi guys, it's Heather and I am coming from a different room today. My kids are downstairs watching Moana and my husband is doing some work on my mudroom project, and I thought I have a brand new craft area that's totally not set up yet, so I'm not going to show you everything yet, but it has a nice desk and some shelves, and I decided that I would come up here and shut myself away, and the kids probably won't find me in here. So I had a brand new lamp, so the lighting is not the best, but maybe better than before. It's the first time I'm trying it out. Maybe I'll get better at this sometime. Anyway, I have a few notes. I'm here with my week 23 post-op duodenal switch update. I am a revision from lap band to duodenal switch. I had that on November 9th, 2016 with Dr. Bermudez at Rex Bariatrics, and I had surgery at Rex Hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's really hot in Raleigh today. Today is Friday, April 21st, so all my weights and stuff are from yesterday, which was Thursday, the 20th. And I also had my gallbladder removed when I had surgery. I think that's all the details. Oh, I'm 42 years old, 5'6"-ish. So, let's see. My stats, my highest weight was for this surgery for the DS was 304 pounds. My weight on the day of surgery after a 1-week liquid diet was 283.2 pounds. My weight last week was 211.4 pounds, and my weight yesterday was 210.8 pounds for a 0.6 pound loss, which was the same as the week before last week, and last week was a really good week. So I did see lower than that over the weekend, and I saw a little bit higher than that today because yesterday I went out. My company had an all-hands meeting, and they do fun things for us when they do that, just to sort of talk about our results for the quarter and bonuses and sort of congratulate everybody for a job well done. And we went to a barcade, and they gave us a bunch of tokens and gave us lunch and drink tickets, and 2 drink tickets each. And they had a cider. I love cider in general, and they had a cider that I've been wanting to try. So I got a pint of it. First time I'd actually gotten a drink of my own, an alcoholic drink of my own since surgery. And I drank probably about half of that over the course of an hour or so with food. And it made me burp a few times, but it wasn't uncomfortable. But when I was, after it had been a while, I did get kind of warm and just feel kind of meh for a little bit, but I didn't have any ill effects from that. And then I went out, since I was downtown, which is where I used to work, and a lot of my old coworkers still work there, either at the company that I left or a different company downtown. We met up for beers afterwards, and I had another cider, just a 10-ounce pour, and we were there for like 2 hours. I was there for about 2 hours, and so I nursed that for like an hour and a half, a 10-ounce pour, but I never felt super drunk or anything, and it, like I said, a little bit of gas, but did not bother me otherwise. So I guess that's how alcohol is treating me right now. But again, I haven't really tested. I've been very cautious. So that's good. And while I was there, one of my old co-workers told me that I was just getting small, which is kind of shocking for me to hear because I am not small. But he, it's like, you move differently, you look a lot different, it's like you're more comfortable in your body, and like, are you feeling that? I'm like, some, yeah. I mean, I can move different ways. I didn't explain all this to him because he's a dude and he's been skinny all his life and whatever. But I mean, yeah, I notice those things sometimes, that I can cross my legs now if I want to. I feel like I have more space when I sit in a seat. I feel like in the car I have more space around me. I have to pull the seat up closer because, you know, I take up less room, and I can't reach if I was back as far as I used to be. But otherwise it's just like I'm inside this, and I don't see it every day. And then also yesterday, somebody at the all hands, while we were waiting in line for food, said, you know, I've been meaning to say, you look like you've lost an awful lot of weight and you look really great. I'm like, well, thank you. And then today, one of the other development managers, not my manager, had to call me into the office for another reason, because my manager wasn't in, and he was doing some report about, you know, what everybody's working on, and so he was just asking me about that. But he's like, before I get to that, I wanted to say, you look like you've lost a lot of weight. You look really good. I have, and thank you. It's a little uncomfortable to talk about. I mean, I'm not shy about it, but yes, I have lost a lot of weight. And I don't want to go into like all the details, but thank you for noticing, and I appreciate it, and awesome. Oh, I didn't go through all of the like stats of how much weight I've lost. So I've lost 0.6 pounds this week, 72.4 pounds since surgery, and 93.2 pounds in total. So yes, I have lost a lot of weight. Not quite 100 pounds, but getting there. And some of my size 18s are falling off of me, and I feel I need to get, you know, get new clothes like all the time. This shirt is really large in the arms. Yeah, you see my hangy bits. But it looks okay, and it kind of cinches in under the, I can show you guys, kind of cinches in under the chest area. So I don't know, I think it makes, and the one I was wearing yesterday kind of did that too. But they're still a little bit too big. They're not really fitted like they should be, but they look okay, which is kind of how a lot of my clothes are right now. They're not really fitted, but they still look okay. So, but I'm gonna have to do something about that, I think. And I have I'm pretty sure I have 0 shorts and 0 capris, and like really warm weather clothes to wear. So I took a bunch of clothes to a friend of mine, because I was just going to take them to Goodwill, and I said, you know, if there's anything that you want, because they're, you know, her size range, if there's anything that you want, feel free to take it out. Take everything else to Goodwill. I don't care. I don't need it in my house anymore. But I've got a ton more. I've got like, that was one pretty big box, and I've got more boxes. Okay, I've got one other box, but like my closet and my dresser, I haven't even gone through any of my summer pants or shorts or capris yet at all. So there's going to be a lot. But the other thing I wanted to do with today's video was talk about the where would I be without weight loss surgery tag. Nirvana started that, and if you are not watching Experiencing Nirvana, go do so. She's very entertaining and has been in the community for a long time. She's RNY, had band over bypass, and then now is preparing to switch to duodenal switch, which is a very tough surgery, and her doctor is, you know, requiring her to lose some weight that she has regained before she can get her surgery, so she's working on that right now. But anyway, a lot of other people have done this tag, and if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. For me, okay, for me, where would I be without weight loss surgery? Since I am a revision from another weight loss surgery, I feel like that has to be part of my consideration for this tag, not just my current 5 months out from a DS, but 10 years out from a lap band. So I have a video about my whole story. That's my first video. I have a playlist, which will be at the end of this, of all of my videos in order. So if you want to see them, go click on that later, and you can see me talk about my whole story. But I may have touched on some of this stuff in that video, because where would I be without the lap band? is the biggest thing for me right now, because my life hasn't changed a whole lot in the past 5 months. It's not like I'm years and years out, or doing a lot of things that I didn't before. But so the reason that I had the lap band, one of the reasons that I had the lap band, is that we'd been trying to conceive and had been unsuccessful, and we decided to I decided that I should try to lose some weight to see if that would help, because of course just about everything that's wrong with you, the doctors think you can help by losing weight. So I decided that I was going to get serious and I was going to lose some weight, and I went to the seminar and decided that because I wanted to have children and didn't want to be malnourished, and I wanted to be able to, have kids, and the DS wasn't available then, and the sleeve was not available then as a standalone surgery 10 years ago. Almost, yeah. Almost 10 and a half years ago, because that was sort of right when the sleeve was maybe starting to be done. One of the people at my surgery group actually had it around the same time I got surgery, but she was a special case, and it was sort of because of other reasons she ended up having that. And I don't think they even did the DS, even though, because not very many surgeons do. It's the most complicated surgery. My practice does, so if you're looking for that, or if you're looking, they also do RNY to DS, like Nirvana is having. I know this because one of the nurses that saw me in the hospital was an RNY patient who still wanted to lose some more weight. She'd lost a lot of weight, but still wanted to lose more. And so she was going to go to them, and she was already scheduled for her surgery, so they do that. But so I decided to have the lap band, and it did not help me conceive, at least not naturally, because I had the lap band and I lost 60 to 80 pounds. Maybe my highest weight at that point before the lap band was 326 pounds. And I think I got down to about 260, and then my stasis was like it was around 270, 275, I think, after that. And then we tried to have children again, and I, basically said I can eat what I think is a good amount of food and be okay, like, through pregnancy. So for now, we're not going to do any more fills. I'm just going to concentrate on getting pregnant. And that didn't work naturally. So then we went to fertility doctors, and after, a year or so of trying naturally, and eventually had my daughter, and then had my son. And so I don't know that if I had not had the lap band, if the fertility doctors would have been successful, if I would have had my children if I had not had the lap band. Would I have gained even more weight? Would I have gone, beyond 326 pounds? Would I have been almost 400 pounds or over 400 pounds? I don't know. The way I was going, it was a lot of the yo-yo dieting cycle. We, before the wedding, we both sort of hardcore dieted and went to the gym, and I lost, some weight then, but it required a lot of attention and a lot of commitment, which, we both worked. And right now I feel like, I had so much time back then that I don't have now, because I have two little ones that, have to come first for some of those things. But so we lost some weight, and then we, I gained it back. So for the wedding, I think I was around 280, and then had gained more weight, up to 326. So who knows? Would I have been over 400 pounds, and would I have been able to conceive my children? And if, I am a scientist at heart. I am not very spiritual. I believe in logic, and I know that my children are who they are because that egg and that sperm met, and those DNA choices were made, and if it had happened at any other time, I would have different children, because they would not be the same children. Um, so it's hard for me to say I wish I had done something else, because I love my children, even when they drive me nuts. I love them and love the people they are and are becoming, and cannot imagine not having them in my life. So that is the biggest thing for me. Would I have had these children without the weight loss surgery? Probably not, because if I had not decided to get the weight loss surgery, I probably would have gone to the fertility doctor sooner. May or may not have been successful. May have decided to maybe it would have been successful and had different children, and of course love them just as much as I love my current children. But they're not who I have now in my life, and thinking about not having them, no, I don't want to think about that. So any decisions that I'd made differently may have led to not having them. So I'm so glad that I had the lap band, even though it was not successful in the end and was actually making me sick by the time I ended up getting it out. I'm super happy that I did it, and I did it when I did it, and that this is where I am. Another thing, would I have had diabetes by now? My mother is diabetic and poorly controlled. She's much older than I am, and it was actually, I think it was a late onset. Well, it was adult onset, but it was relatively late in her life, that it was caught, whether she had it before then or not. But when she was diagnosed, she was probably in her 60s, I think, because I think she was in her late 50s, maybe early 60s, because I think I was in my 20s, maybe 30. It's hard to remember now. She's been diabetic for a while now. So would I have gotten diabetes if I hadn't had that restriction on what I could eat? Maybe, probably. I've never even been told I was pre-diabetic. My A1C has always been good. My thyroids have always, the things they check when you're fat, all of those things have always been good for me. There's always been there's no reason that there's no you have a thyroid issue and that's why you're fat. Although I do have PCOS, which means that there's probably some insulin resistance, which can, make you fat, because insulin resistance basically means your metabolism is broken. I think that's about all that I have as far as where would I be without weight loss surgery, because it's been so long. But I mean, a lot of it, would I have been heavier? Would I have ended up in my current career? I was without a job for a while because the market was really bad for developers for a while, but would I have gotten heavier and not been able to work? As it is, I'm in a good job. I love my job, and I loved what I did for the past 10 years before that, almost 10 years. And so would I have done that? I don't know. I was without a job when I got the surgery. It was during I had a period where I was laid off and I was trying to do something else, something different, and I had basically given up on that, and anyway, ended up having the surgery and then getting a job, and so I think that helped spur me to be able to feel confident going to get a job, even though I was still fat. I felt better about myself and was able to work, and able to feel confident enough to go to interviews and find a job. So my life might be very different now if I hadn't had that. So like I said, even though it was not the best thing for me, last year when I started getting sick because of it, I'm still glad that I did it because it led me to where I am now. Anyway, so where I am now, as you can see, I told you I'm in my craft area. There's also an exercise room, which I have not been using lately. Speaking of my current job, it was a very tough past month or so at my job because we were leading up to a release, which we soft launched this week and have had sort of a lighter week. And next week they're going to full launch. And since we basically are contracted to create a website for the people, and I don't have another project yet, I'm hoping that means my evenings will be free, at least for a while, and I can get back to the treadmill over there, which, you know, I spent way too much time not doing now. So that's where I am on week 23, and my speculation on where I would be without weight loss surgery. Again, if you haven't done it and you would like to do it, consider yourself tagged. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week. I'm hoping for a better week, although my period started today, so who knows. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week.